All right, we're back at you with another live edition of our Talking with Friends podcast.
Yes.
Special time today. I am Sports Information Director Levi Converse.
And I'm, his assistant, Morgan Raspberry. I'm always on here with you, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to always... Do we always need to introduce ourselves? You know,
Well,
I
it's just
that.
form. It's just a formality.
It's
just
a
something.
formality.
I mean, we change things up and we do things different on here. Something has to stay the same.
Something has to.
People that listen to us, they want to have some type of consistency, and that's the only thing they got with this.
True.
With us. So we have to introduce
you
ourselves.
always get an introduction, that's for sure.
Yeah, you always get an introduction. After that, it could be random stuff.
There we go. Now it's just randomness.
Randomness.
All over again.
Randomness.
Jeez.
Yeah. Which we actually have a topic dedicated to randomness.
Heck yeah, we do. Because it's fun. Randomness is fun.
Yeah.
So a lot of action going on here at Fringe University, and especially not only just this week, but the following week as well, which we'll talk to you guys a little bit about. Just so far having a great semester, so far, knocking on wood at the moment in time, because you never know what's going to happen right now. But so far, everything has been great, and I know personally for classes-wise, for me, it's been really great. But I only take 2 classes, and it's just amazing. But, yeah. I don't know of any other events going on campus at the moment, though. Well, we do actually have a FACE event coming up that I'm super excited about.
Yeah, we talked about that just a little while ago.
We did talk about that.
I'll let you explain. I'll let you talk about that.
So, guys, the FACE events are usually awesome and amazing, and they used to email all the students, but now they don't anymore, which is kind of depressing, and when you live off campus, because then you don't exactly know what's going on all the time. But anyways, so next week, February 10th, from 8 to 10 p.m., they're doing hydro dipping. It's awesome. It's going to be so much fun.
Explain that to people who may not know exactly what that is.
Okay, so hydro dipping is basically you have water, you put paint in the water, like just on different kind of like areas in a way, like whatever you want. Usually it's like a tie-dye kind of thing, or just a smorgasbord of colors, you know, and it's actually really kind of cool. And then you take whatever the object that you're hydro dipping in, and you just dip it in there, and then you try and get all the paint on the object that you have it on, and it's actually really cool, and it's a lot of fun.
So that is next Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I knew what that was. You were going to actually do that and then come back to basketball?
Yes! I will come back to basketball.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive that's hydro dipping. That's always what I've always thought of it as.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So fortunately the games are actually 5 and 7, so you're going to get to go to it.
Yes. It's water transfer painting, basically. I just looked it up just to make sure I was correct. And yes, I was correct. How I explained it was correct. It's exactly what it is. But, like, the technical term is water transfer printing.
Okay.
Printing, not painting. Wow, that's weird. But anyways, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. And it makes really cool... It makes less cool things look even awesomer and way cooler. And they're going to, like, provide hats for us, or, like, a thermostat, or, like, a thermos. And I want to say there was, like, a mason jar on there or something, which, I mean, I have plenty of all 3 of those. But you can always use another one, right?
Well, it's the principle of winning, though, right?
I know.
mean, it doesn't matter the prize.
Yeah, it was like...
doesn't matter the prize.
Who cares? So... I'm excited for it, and I definitely will be doing that I will be here at basketball, and then I'm going to go straight there at, like, halftime, if it works out this way. I'm going at halftime of the guys' game, and then I'm coming right back, unless the games are scheduled sooner.
Which I believe they are.
Oh, then I'm going right after, going straight there. It's going to be fun.
Let's just take a look
I'm
right
excited.
here in real time. In real time, let's take a look here. February the 10th.
February 10th.
St. Mary. It is a 7 o'clock, 5 and 7 game.
Yes!
So, you're good.
I'm
it's
good.
8 to 10.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
You're perfect. You're good to
great.
go. Yeah. So
This
there you
is
go.
really fun. And super random on that one, but that's the only other event that I actually know that's going on campus, because I don't think Fine Arts has much going on. I think the Singing Quakers are getting ready for their spring symphony concert, though. I don't know
You're right.
how they're going to do
No,
it.
they are. They are. It may be a virtual.
I think it will be.
Concert looked like it was going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe on social media.
Probably.
It seemed
I think that's how they did their like
Yeah.
candlelight one that they usually do, their candlelight concert.
Yeah. But it did seem like that was what, that's coming up, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a virtual event.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled for that one, because that's usually a really fun event that they have now, because I want to say one year they did like a whole entire like thing dedicated to just Disney songs, and it was really cool and a lot of fun. And of course, being the Disney nerd that I am, I enjoyed every single second of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I was singing along with them. Like, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, hey, but some of those songs are pretty cool.
I know, right?
They stick in your head, and they're
All
kind
of
of
them
catchy,
are.
and yeah.
All of them are pretty awesome. So, but anyway, so that's about all that's on campus life right at this moment in time.
Yeah. Athletics, there's a ton of stuff on campus
There's
right
a
now.
ton of stuff going on with
Tonight,
athletics.
we got men's basketball and women's basketball, and women's JV also. Women's JV tips off at 3:30 versus Tabor, and then the varsity at 6 for the women, and men at 8 p.m. Tabor College is here. No fans allowed, but you can watch it online at our streaming site, portal.stretchinternet.com/friends. It's available on our website. You
And
put
do
it
we
on
wanna
social
make-
media.
Do we want to make the fan announcement a little bit, or no?
Well, there is, I mean, if people have seen the news
That's
the
true.
last couple of days, there is possibly some avenues where we're going to be able to allow, a little bit more fans in a very limited capacity coming up
Yes.
soon. We've not posted any details on it yet, so it's not official yet. But hopefully early next week, we'll have something out on that. So, yeah. So there's hope on the horizon.
There is hope on the horizon. We're kind of seeing a little bit of normalcy,
that.
and I will take that.
But we're going to preview our basketball games a little bit tonight. To tip off again for the JV women is just coming up in about less than 45 minutes here in the Garvey Center. Men's basketball at 8 p.m. They're coming off a really tough setback at Oklahoma Wesleyan, who received votes in the latest NAI Top 25 poll, 89-84. Falcons were up by 6 at the half. Oklahoma Wesleyan caught fire in the second half, outscored them 51-40, and wound up winning by 5.
Yep.
It did snap a 2-game winning streak though for the Falcons. They're now 6-9 in the KCAC, 6-12 overall. And big story though, head coach Dale Faber, 297 career wins.
Wow.
He's 3 wins away from career number 300
That's awesome.
for his victories. So he's counting down to get to that milestone. So that's pretty awesome. He can add one tonight. The Falcons have won 5 straight over Tabor in the series. If they can make it 6 in a row, it'll be career win number 298 for Dale Faber.
Yes, that would be so amazing for him, especially since we will be losing him sadly this year.
Yep.
Not fully, but like as a coach, and so if
Yes.
he can get to at least 300, that would be absolutely amazing for him, and such a great accomplishment. It's a great
Yes.
accomplishment, period. But
Right.
I think it'd be a little bit more special in a way if they can definitely do that real soon.
It'd be great if it happened at home too.
Yes.
Somehow. I mean, you can't predict those things. You take it when it comes. You want to win everything you can, but it would be kind of nice for that to happen at home. So
It'd be
we're
a
able
little
to
bit
count
more of
that,
a celebration if it was
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, again, we mentioned the Falcons were coming off 2 straight wins. The result of that, senior guard T.J. Williams was named the KCAC Defensive Player of the Week. Last week, he averaged 3.5 steals per game and averaging the 2 wins, along with 3 defensive rebounds a game. He also had 6 defensive boards in the Falcons' 20-point win over Avalon last Saturday night. And he's averaging 2.7 steals per game. That is second in the KCAC and 12th in the NAIA. So TJ Williams, he's been a ball hawk all year long.
Yep.
And the times that he had to miss with his injury, he had to miss. He left in the middle of the Bethany game.
Yes, it was
here.
Bethany. I remember that.
And Falcons wound up coming down and losing that game.
Yeah.
And you really missed his offensive and defensive presence on the court. And he's back in full force now, and he's been named the KCAC Defensive Player of the Week. So Falcons again will be in action 8 p.m. against Tabor, looking to make it 6 straight wins in the series. The women's Falcons will be hosting Tabor also at 6 p.m. They've won 2 of their last 3 games, but are also coming off a loss to Oklahoma Wesleyan.
Yeah.
They are 9-12 overall and 7-11 in the KCAC.
And I want to say they were even closer than the guys, not by like literally 1 point. I want to say they lost by 4.
They lost by 14.
It was 14.
But I think I know what you're getting at. They were down by 4.
They were down by 4.
Late in the game, 61-57, and Oklahoma Wesleyan scored the final 10 points of the game.
That's what it was.
To win by 14.
Yeah, I remember talking to Tiff about it.
Yeah. They were only down 4. It was a close game, and Oklahoma Wesleyan scored the final 10. And they won 71-57. As far as the series goes with the Blue Jays, Tabor won the earlier meeting 62-47 at Hillsboro, Kansas. Tabor's won 4 straight overall over Friends here. So Tabor's got a 4-game winning streak in the series, so it's kind of the polar opposite of the guys. The guys have a 5-game winning streak over the Blue Jays in the men's series, and the women have lost 4 straight. Tabor, though, has a really, really good women's basketball program led by head coach Sean Reed. Sean Reed has been around with Tabor. He's won tournament championships. He was tournament championships when I was here. He won the conference tournament with Tabor, and actually won 5 tournament titles overall. And one of those I was actually at doing stats for. They're well coached. They're just a really, really good program. And Tabor this season is. This season's been a little weird for everybody, but there are 12-6 overall and 11-5 in the KCAC. So they're still really, really good, and they're always just a perennial juggernaut. It seems like on the women's side. But Tabor, yes, very, very good. That game is at 6 p.m. tonight. Women's Falcons against Tabor. Men's Falcons will play at 8 p.m. here in the Garvey Center. Tomorrow we've got baseball. Yes. The University of St. Mary will be here. That was actually scheduled for Saturday at noon and moved up to Friday because of the cold weather coming in on Saturday. And now it somewhat looks like it's not going to be quite as cold as it was supposed to be, but it was in the forecast, and I'm still glad that they moved it up.
Yes, because it's supposed to
still
I'm still seeing
cold.
Snow on Saturday. There's still like a certain
You still
percentage.
seeing snow?
I'm still seeing like 60%.
Really? I'm not
snow.
seeing that. Where are you seeing that at?
Oh, now it's down to 50%, so that's good. On my phone, that's where I'm seeing it at.
Well, you're at the Weather Channel phone. 50% chance of snow, high 36. Let me contrast that here. Let me contrast with what I have. Let's just see. Hey, because we do everything on here.
That's
we
true.
have fun, right? Because we're talking about weather that affects baseball. Okay, here's the weird thing about this. Yesterday, all week, on my Cake News weather app, it's been high in the 20s or low 30s.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it went up to like high of 46 and no precipitation. Today, it's high 33, 45% chance of snow.
See, I mean, we can never trust it until the day of. But fortunately, we won't be outside on Saturday.
Right,
so
we will not be. And it's not
what,
going to accumulate. The roads won't get really bad, I don't think. But
No.
so we'll be fine on that, obviously. And everybody kind of think about Super Bowl Sunday as well. I don't expect anything like that. But
No.
high of 33 with snow. So now the decision to move baseball up to Friday looks really, really good.
It's like almost like a blessing in disguise if you think about it.
And it was that way all week until yesterday. And I don't know if the apps got mixed up. I don't know what it was. But
I don't really know, and maybe it's just because like all of a sudden they weren't seeing like signs of it, but now they're seeing them all over again, or who knows? There could have just been a fluke somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
But you never know. I think Mother Nature is. Maybe it's just that time of month. You know, it's just that time of It's just that time of the month. You know, and so she's kind of being unpredictable.
Yeah. So baseball tomorrow against St. Mary again. No fans allowed yet. But it will be live, 1 o'clock p.m., a 9-inning doubleheader, a 7-inning doubleheader against the University of St. Mary. Will be on our live stream, portal.stretchinternet.com/friends. Catch all the baseball Falcons action. They're 5-1 on the season.
Yes.
They started out 5-0 for the first time since 2015, and then lost a series finale versus Texas A&M Texarkana last Saturday. They dropped the first game of the year. So they're 5-1 on the year.
Yeah.
They're playing the University of St. Mary on Saturday.
And if we thought Friday's weather was bad, Saturdays.
That was, we could do a whole podcast just based on that. We could do a whole podcast based on that.
Weather is crazy right now.
It rained a lot through the game.
Yep.
Pretty steady, consistently. The wind started blowing, but the wind was blowing all day, but it really picked up about the 5th inning.
Yeah.
And we started having to hold on to the canopy to keep it from blowing away because we had our live stream and our live stats going, and And it was interesting.
Yeah.
If you picked a day to be gone, that was a day for you to be gone. I can tell you that.
Was.
Not that you can plan anything like that, but it was
Very
it was a day that
gone.
you probably wouldn't mind missing.
Yeah.
And then you get to make your grand return for basketball tonight.
Yes.
Inside the gym.
I'm good with being inside the gym though.
Yep.
However, it's turned out to be a really beautiful day. It
Yep.
wasn't at first, and the wind's still kind of blowing a little harder than I want. But it's when you're out in the sun, it doesn't bother you too much. You're good.
And tomorrow's not going to be bad either.
No.
So we're going to be out there tomorrow. We'll be a lot better than it was last week. If we can get through last Saturday, we can get through anything weather throws.
I know,
at us.
right?
Well, I say that you have to knock on wood. You never know what it can. It's like the old saying, it can't get any worse. Well, it can. So.
It definitely can.
But we go out through a lot, and we made it through. So, Falcons 5-1. The St. Mary Spires, their first game of the year, will be their season debut tomorrow against the Falcons. So, conference opener for our baseball team. Saturday, we got a volleyball.
We do.
Doubleheader or quadruple doubleheader, how you want to look at it.
Try.
2 JV games, and then you have our match against Kansas Wesleyan, and then we're also going to play Sterling. So,
so I believe it's going to be JV versus K-Dub's JV first. And
yes,
then
it is.
Be,
at 11:30 in the morning is that when that starts.
We're starting out bright and early-ish.
Yep. 1 o'clock, the varsity will play Kansas Wesleyan.
Yes, finally we'll get to varsity.
3 o'clock after that, it'll be the varsity versus Sterling. No, it'll be JV versus Sterling.
It'll be JV versus Sterling. And then
4:30 with a nightcap.
And I don't think that Kansas Wesleyan and Sterling are actually going to play
They are not.
other.
So it's not a traditional try.
Yeah, it's not your traditional try.
Our
it's kind of,
varsity match will cap it off.
Yeah, so, but we're looking forward to playing both teams. K-Dub was going to be for sure a challenge. We're not so sure about Sterling just because, Sterling can kind of be wishy-washy
Yeah, Sterling right now going again. This is a brand new season. This is unprecedented.
Yes.
We don't know how everybody's going to react.
Oh no.
It's still early for our team as well going into the spring season. Right now we're 7-9 and 3-5 in the conference. And then you've got Sterling. Sterling is 16-8 overall.
Yeah.
And 6-7 in the KCAC. Kansas Wesleyan 11-9 and 7-5 in the conference. So 2 pretty good tests are coming up tomorrow.
Yes, that's for sure.
So,
I couldn't remember anything with Sterling. I don't even remember us playing Sterling, to be quite honest. But
yeah,
we
have not played Sterling. We have played Sterling on the road and won 3-2.
We played them on the road, and I want to say I did watch that game, and we did, I believe, beat them.
And we won 3 in 5 sets.
Yes, we won in 5 sets, and then we came back to play McPherson later that day
and lost in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that was it.
But anyways, definitely going to be a struggle to play against them, and I'm kind of glad that we're playing against them at home, just because it's always nice to play at home.
That brings back something that happened also on that day, September 25th. I remember right. That was our debut podcast that Friday.
I believe so.
It was. That was the first one that we had because I remember Sterling and McPherson was the matches that night we were talking about. So. Dr. Rob Ramsire was on with us that day for our very first podcast, September 25th.
Yes, I was watching it as we were talking. I remember this.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
I remember this now.
Yep. So in the spring, the volleyball Falcons have dropped a 3-set match at NCAA Division II Northwestern Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. They're coming off a 3-set win, 3-0 victory at Avila. This will be their first home game of the spring semester so far. We had one scheduled against earlier against York, and it got canceled. So now I'm going to play Kansas Wesleyan and Sterling here on Saturday.
Yep.
1 o'clock and 4:30.
We're hoping to start the spring season out with a 3-0 in conference. Hopefully they can pull that off. Actually, they play Bethel tonight.
Yep.
So maybe 4-0.
At Bethel on the road. At Bethel on the road.
At Bethel.
Yep. And then they're back here on Saturday.
Yes.
1 and 4:30. Against Kansas Wesleyan and Sterling, then JV at 11:30 and 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so super, super busy week period for all of Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcon athletics at the moment. And then, so.
Yeah, and we
looking forward to everything.
It is. It's going to be fun. We know this semester is going to be a wild ride, but we're off to already a pretty wild scoot right now. So we're getting in gear pretty quick, and we're going to be ready for anything that's thrown at us. But
anything that's thrown at us, we can handle.
We got it.
Hopefully we can handle.
Right, for sure. We don't have an NFL game to pick, obviously, but we do have a pretty big game coming up on Sunday.
The big game.
The big game, yes. That's right. Yeah, the big game.
We talked about this yesterday.
So, as you know, the Kansas City Chiefs will be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the big game. Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers are the first team to ever host a Super Bowl.
Yes.
And they're going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Kickoff is at 5:30 on CBS. We can talk a little bit about it, but also we want to share we're going to have a special big game podcast on Sunday. We're going to start at about 2 p.m. and we're going to have a bunch of guests. Then once we're done, we're going to download it to Apple and iTunes and Spotify and put out the YouTube link. So be on the lookout for that on Sunday. We're excited to share it with you. We're going to have multiple guests.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the game, make a few predictions, and just kind of make some fun predictions too. Just have a lot of fun. And so far confirmed, we have our Director of Athletics, Dr. Rob Ramsar, who was on with us for our first podcast we mentioned. He's going to be with us on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Our Assistant Athletic Director, Scott Mosier, is also going to be with us on Sunday. So be sure to look out for that. Scott Mosier, Assistant Athletic Director of Operations. I want to make sure I got that right for him. So he'll be here with us. And our decorated standout track and cross country student athlete Aubrey Donnelly is also going to be with us. Mm-hmm. She's also confirmed she'll be with us, so you're going to enjoy hearing from her. And she is just a really, really solid student athlete all the way around. I've gotten to know Aubrey pretty well. She does FCA, and we've kind of worked together on some things on that. And always on the track, she's as good as it gets. Multiple-time Player of the Week, All-American, just super good. She'll be here with us on Sunday as well, and we're working on confirming other guests added on to that. So we'll let you know. We'll share as we get closer and share the weekend exactly who you can look out for. But those three are for sure confirmed to be on with us on Sunday. And obviously we're going to be here as well.
Yeah.
Morgan and myself.
I guess we'll be here.
Yep.
Melissa will be joining us as well.
Yeah, Melissa Youngke, my other student assistant at SID, will be here. She is a softball team manager. She works for the team, and she's also going to be here. She's going to be at the party. I've not yet confirmed she's going to be on the podcast yet, but she'll be on here. Since she said that now, I got to tell her she's going to be on here.
She's got to be on here.
She's got to be on here now.
It's got to be now.
Yeah. She's going to have to be on here.
Yeah, she has to be. And then we're still debating on if we want Scott Cox on there, we're still debating a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see. That might be an extra treat to watch out for. Who knows?
You never know. The only reason why I say that is because he's in here.
There can only be so many treats, right? I mean,
just only like a few. That's it.
There's got to be a limit to all the good stuff we can provide. But that could be. No.
Yeah. So keep watching out for that, especially on Sunday, and we hope that everybody has an amazing Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully you have plans, or even if you don't, just have kind of fun with it, because it's always a fun time to get together with people.
It is. We're going to have wings and who knows what else.
Oh, Lord only knows.
Yep. At least that.
Man. We at least know wings for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're debating on where to get them at, but we know we're going to have wings.
Wings.
So any suggestions I'll take, but I think I know where we're going to get them at. But either way, any suggestions I'll take though.
Okay.
Who likes where's the fair place to get wings? So.
Oh man, I mean personally, probably Buffalo Wild Wings, but I don't really know either, just because I don't go to a whole lot of wing places. Like, that's, like, their specialty is just wings. Like, I mean, I go to Applebee's and get their wings. I don't know if that counts.
It counts.
Like, I like their boneless wings. I'm a boneless wing person.
I am, too.
I'm not a huge, like, actual bone-in wing.
I'll eat traditional wings, but I like boneless better.
Same. Like, I'll eat them, but I don't know. I guess it's just because I don't like really with the bone. But that's, like, why I don't like chicken legs or drums,
I love chicken legs. I grew up on chicken legs. But I love the boneless wings.
I just don't like the bone. I don't know. I don't like eating around and off of the bone. It just, I don't know. It's not weird or anything. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then I gotta pick around everything, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about where we want to. We'll talk about it, but we know we're going to have wings. So yeah, I hope everybody has fun on that. But yeah, be on the lookout for the announcement on who else is going to be there. We know 3 guests for sure.
Yes.
Dr. Rob Ramsire, great guest, our Director of Athletics. Scott Mosier, our assistant AD of operations, and Aubrey Donnelly, our All-American standout cross-country and track and field student athlete, is going to be joining us for sure.
Yes.
On Sunday, and we're going to have more as well. So be on the lookout for. We'll have a big announcement coming up probably tomorrow or Saturday once we get everything confirmed. And then watch out for it to drop on Sunday as well.
Yes.
So we want you to tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to it. And in the game, we're going to analyze the game as well. So I got my opinions on how the game is going to go.
Opinions, yeah.
It may not jive with the majority. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who
I'm still kind of debating on
who you leaning towards. And we don't have to give it away yet, but who you leaning towards?
I don't even want to say it right now.
All right, we will make our official pick on Sunday.
It's like, let's wait, because I still keep going back and forth. I don't have an official opinion yet.
You got 3 days to figure it out.
I know, so that's it's a short amount of time.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, though. So, be on the lookout for that. That's coming up quick. All right, random topics. Okay,
So
you had me thinking, because we already had a random topic settled on, and then you forgot it, and now I think I forgot it as well.
I think we both forgot it.
And I don't know why.
I don't remember what was our one that we even decided on now. We literally just decided on before we said.
We was talking about TV shows.
TV shows, that was it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So we'll just talk about that one, and if it comes to us what our actual legit random topic was going to be, then we'll come back to that.
And surely by Sunday, I know Sunday's going to be focused on the Super Bowl, but
hopefully by Sunday
if I say
remember.
we figure it out, we're going to talk about it, because
probably.
surely
it was a good one, but I just don't remember what it was.
All right, let's go on this one, because I'm still trying to think about it.
Yesterday.
Let's get going on this one.
Okay, so right before we actually started the podcast, like to talk to you guys, right? Mr. Levi made a reference to an Andy Griffith, to the Andy Griffith show, and our GA Scott had no idea what the reference was from. Now, I'm actually younger than Scott, and I knew the reference, which is, I don't know if that's necessarily sad or not. Is that sad, Scott? No? Okay.
I think it's a very good positive thing.
I think it's a positive thing.
It's good. No, that's good.
I was like, I mean, but I'm like I said, I'm an old soul at heart. I like the older TV shows. They're fun. They're funny too. I'm like, man, like, how can you get mad when Andy is like, okay, he wants so bad to fall in love with somebody, but never can fall in love with the girl that actually wants to date him and all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, how can, and then as soon as he tries,
Yeah, Andy and Barney had a lot of different double dates, and it was funny. It was a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. And then we started talking about MASH.
Talking about MASH,
How can you hate on MASH? I'm sorry. Hawkeye, come on. He's hilarious. Like, how can you hate on that? Like, he just loves to play pranks. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Hot Lips. Yeah.
Hot Lips, and yep.
I'm like, jeez. There's so many different things. And then another one that I was actually just now thinking about. Oh, I'm drawing a blank to the name of it. But it's the one where they're POWs in Germany. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, one of, like, the worst POW camps. Like, literally, not much security. And all of the Americans that get sent there, they go through... They end up escaping somehow, some way, So, like, because that's just where they're always told to go. Is if you're gonna go to one of the camps, you go to that one because I'm trying to blank to what it's called.
You're talking about Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes, yes, thank you. That's a good one. It's so funny. I like Hogan's Heroes. It's a good one.
Colonel Klink is funny in it.
Colonel Klink. Oh man, there's just so many. And then Hogan himself, like, he's just a sarcastic person.
Okay,
like,
I'll tell you what. Great. I'll give you my favorite TV shows. And, I could make a list about 20 shows. But the shows I watch, and I will compare it to yours and see if you like any of them.
Go for it.
We already talked about the Andy Griffith Show. You know that.
Yes, I knew that.
That'd be my favorite. I also love watching the Flintstones.
Yes, like the cartoon version. Yes, the Flintstones.
Yeah.
It's the Flintstones.
Yeah, you like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I also like watching a show that you probably haven't seen, and it was before my time. I mean, obviously, I still watch it. I love watching The Honeymooners.
Okay, no, I don't know that one.
You don't know The Honeymooners?
I don't know that one,
with Jackie Gleason in it. Have you heard of Jackie Gleason? That's different. But
I know.
yeah, that's got Gavin McLeod. That's totally different.
Yeah.
I love The Honeymooners. I love watching Gunsmoke. That's my
I
favorite
know
Western.
Gunsmoke, yeah.
Um,
That was one of my grandpa's favorites
Yeah.
as well. And he always had the Western
yeah.
show on, so we knew.
My grandpa that's his favorite too. He still watches it.
Yep.
So I grew up on Gunsmoke. My dad watches it. I like watching Bonanza. That's good. And The Rifleman. All those three are my favorite Westerns.
Really?
Yeah. Are you familiar with any Westerns? Do you watch Westerns or?
I haven't watched
You probably
them in
don't
a
watch
long
it a lot, do you?
time. Well, I haven't just watched them in a while because, one, I don't have cable here because broke college kid. I can't afford cable. I can barely afford internet. So, but still, but growing up, I definitely, because my grandpa, like I said, he had the Western channel on all the time. All the time. And it's one of my favorite things that I do actually miss about him is because it kind of, every once in a while, my dad will turn it on whenever I'm back home, and because he watches them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his favorites is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I know that's a movie, but that's one of his favorite movies. I'm like, I don't understand why, but okay.
That's got Clint Eastwood in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you can't hate on Clint Eastwood.
No.
You just can't. So.
Yeah. So another of my favorite show that I like to watch, and I want you to give yours too. We'll just compare and contrast. But I like to watch. You probably I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it was on CW. But I watched on the Family Channel, Smallville, where it's
I
where
think
Superman's
I've heard
a kid,
it.
and I watched that a lot. And
I think I've
and
heard of it,
Superman
but
was
I
a
never
kid.
watched it.
Yep.
Yeah, no. As a kid growing up, obviously I watched SpongeBob religiously. Literally
I watched a lot of kid shows.
religiously.
I watched kid shows growing up. Now I still watch kid shows, but obviously
I know,
Luke
right?
and Peyton watch kid shows. So, but I like the Disney shows that they had on, and
the old Disney was the best
yes,
Disney.
yes, and
Same with Nickelodeon, though.
yes, that's true. And I don't know. I don't know if we got basketball tonight. So it starts at it's tip off at 6. JV's at 3:30. So we got about over 2.5 hours till varsity starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to risk missing that. But what's your favorite Disney movie? I know it could take a lot of time, but I don't want to risk. But I don't want to risk taking this long.
My favorite Disney movie. That's actually a really hard.
Because I know it is.
Because I have it broken down into categories.
You have talked at length to me about Disney movies.
That's
but you've
very
never,
true.
but you've never, and I have too, because I've seen a lot of them that you've seen, but you've never given me your favorite.
Okay, so I actually have them broken down into categories because I have so many favorite actual legit Disney movies. It's insane. And then I also have my favorite Pixar movies. I have my favorite Marvel movies,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, it was so hard to always narrow it down. But I finally narrowed them down-ish.
Okay.
It's still an issue. So for Disney princess movies, out of all the Disney princess movies out there in the world, all-time favorite, Little Mermaid.
You may have told me that. That's the only one I can
always
remember.
Loved Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Close runner-up is definitely Beauty and the Beast. Why are you shaking your head, Scott? These are amazing Disney princess movies.
It will always be Aladdin.
No.
Always.
No. I love Aladdin, especially with Robin Williams. I mean, the live action version is really good too, but
It's quite disappointing still.
it was still kind of disappointing. But you can't outbeat Robin Williams as the genie. It's impossible. But I don't know. And I guess because for Disney princesses, that one's definitely further down the line because I don't know. I didn't really like Jasmine that much. I don't know. But overall, it would have to be Ariel and the Little Mermaid just because I've always wanted to be a mermaid. Still always want to be a mermaid. It's my goal in life is to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
No lie.
Right. Keep going. You
know,
got to
right?
have a goal.
I do actually have a mermaid tail. Literally, I got it for Christmas a couple years ago, and I love it. It's amazing.
There you go.
I'm a weirdo, and I know it.
All right. You want me to give you my favorite Disney movies? Because I can do it pretty quick.
You can go quicker than I can, so yeah. I only got one category down, though. I have a couple of other categories to go.
I told you. I knew this. I knew this could be a pretty big topic. So I.
Okay, then I'll narrow it down to
No,
a couple
no,
of the
no.
categories.
I want you to delve in the way you want to. My favorite though would be I don't have categories. I only have straight
Really?
movies. I don't divide them up into
I got
categories. My favorite is Cars. Lightning McQueen, Mater.
Cars is amazing. I actually watched
Thunder.
all 3 of them today.
Yeah, all 3 of them today.
Just today, yeah.
Really?
Well, I watched the first one last night, and then I watched the other 2 today. Because, yeah, I just wanted to.
Yeah, it's the Cars 1 is my favorite, but I like 2 and 3 as well.
Yeah.
I like all 3 of them. And my second favorite is I'm probably going to forget one actually, but my second favorite that I can think of is Lion King.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
really
was
like
thinking
that
you
one
were gonna
too. Yeah, I like Lion King. I think I told you that though.
I feel like you just can't, like, no one can really hate on Lion King.
No.
You can hate on the live action version of Lion King. I don't care. However, I think parts of that is actually hilarious. But the original cartoon version of Lion King, like, it's a good family heartwarming movie. It is just.
Yeah.
You can't hate on Timon and Pumbaa. Like, they just make the movie, and then Rafiki hitting him in the head with this stick. Like, come on. It's amazing.
Now, if you want to get technical though, really technical, and go away from the cartoons and actually but still go with Disney movies, Disney also made you remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, and if we're going by that, then that's my favorite Disney movie.
I'm telling you, that's actually my favorite sport Disney movie, not gonna lie.
That movie is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Close runner-up is The Game Plan,
it's
and that's
incredible.
just because the game plan is
They
funny.
also did Glory Road.
They did do
Glory Road is also very good.
Yup, they did. They did a lot. They did all of the Mighty Duck movies.
Yeah,
They did.
those are good. Yeah, they didn't do Blindside, did they?
No, they did not
Yeah, I
do
didn't-
Blindside.
I
They
didn't think
did,
they did.
however, do Cool Runnings.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which
The
I
Jamaican
freaking
bobsled team was
love
very good.
Cool Runnings.
That's a very good movie.
Here's
Ah.
the question. Which of the 3 Mighty Ducks movies is the best?
Oh,
My favorite's the first, though.
I personally like the first one.
You like the second one?
It's
My
the
favorite's the first one. What do you
I-
think,
I-
Morgan?
It's the second.
They're all 3 good. I mean, but I still like the original the best. But
I can tell you which one is my least favorite, which is the third one.
I couldn't agree more with
yeah,
Yeah.
that's accurate. That's accurate. The
But,
first
like,
2 is the best.
But the first
But-
2, like, sorry, those are kind of hard to beat. I would say the first, I don't know. That's hard for me because I like both of those, like, pretty equally. Yeah, that's hard.
All right, back to your categories.
Back to my category. So, sport movies, like, it would have to be Remember the Titans just because that's an amazing, phenomenal movie in general. Close runner-up is Cool Runnings, though, and that's just because it's hilarious. Like, come on.
Cool
It's
Runnings is very
Runnings.
good. That's a very good movie.
R.I.P. John Candy.
Yeah. I mean, Jamaica, we got a bobsled team. Let's go. And I think they still do. I don't remember. They do still? Okay, I thought so, but I couldn't remember. But
I don't think they're very good.
they're probably not the best anymore. But they're trying. They're still going, and that's still good. And then let me think. Pixar movie. So my all-time favorite Disney Pixar movie is Up. Like, I thrive to have the relationship that Ellie and Carl had. I know that it's like a short excerpt in like the beginning of the movie, and then the rest of it's kind of sad, but it's still really great at the same time. Just absolutely love it. I love everything about Up. It's amazing. It makes you want to cry, but it also makes you want to laugh, and it's just absolutely amazing. Now, old school Disney movies, and I'm talking about like the period when they had the credits at the beginning of the movie. That time frame. Those old school Disney movies. All-time favorite. I think it's the most underappreciated, or it's one of the most underappreciated movies, Sword in the Stone.
That is a good movie.
It is such a great movie, and I think it's super underappreciated.
It is. Now you're going back to the era, though, where you had Cinderella.
I
you
know.
had Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was
Yeah.
remade about that
You
time.
had Peter Pan
Peter
around
Pan,
that time. You had Robin Hood was around that time. Robin Hood's actually a good movie, and I think that one's also underappreciated as well. Just saying. But like, there's so many great like old school Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But-
the Aristocats.
The Aristocats is amazing. I freaking love the Aristocats. literally, that's like my close runner-up is the Aristocats, and that's just because I grew up on the Aristocats, not gonna lie. But Sword in the Stone has to be an all-time favorite because that's the history nerd in me, though.
Yeah, that's good.
I know that's definitely not a real thing by any means, but it's an important time in history around when they came up with King Arthur and the Round Table and Merlin. So, like, come on, it's fun.
Well, this is our random topic segment. This topic has been anything but random for us.
Oh, yeah.
Because you talk about Disney quite a bit.
I talk about Disney all the time.
We really do need to think of a random topic for Sunday because this, for us, maybe for the listeners it's random. For us, it was not random.
For us, it's definitely
This was fun though.
This is so much fun.
This is fun. And you got an awesome devotion though, for real.
I do.
Kind of getting serious for a minute. You got a really good devotion. I want you to share.
And I will share it.
I read it. Yeah, it's very, very good.
Is that you telling me to stop talking about Disney and go to
No,
my devotion?
not at all. Just
sure?
looking at it, and I'm thinking about what's coming up next.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll go a little bit quicker.
No, take all the time you want on Disney. I'm just looking at it and thinking we got that coming up next. And it's anything but random for us. This is anything. This is pretty normal topic.
Yeah, come on. Whenever it comes to Marvel, and they just recently got Marvel, I will have to say probably Captain America.
The first one?
No, not the first one.
Thank you.
Civil War, actually.
There you
It's Captain America Civil War. I don't know what it is about it. It's just amazing. And plus, I mean, Iron Man is one of, like, my all-time favorite superheroes. Like, those two are, like, my all-time favorite ones is Iron Man and Captain America. Thor kind of is a little bit in there, but I think that's just because it's Chris Hemsworth that plays Thor.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, you just can't hate on him. However, him in Endgame was hilarious. He did a great job with that. That was so funny. Oh, man. But, yeah. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a close runner-up, and that's all, like, probably the first Guardians of the Galaxy. The second one I wasn't a huge fan of. I appreciate it, and I respect it, but I'd say the first one was probably my favorite. So those two are probably my favorites for Marvel. And then, let me think. I think I did quite a few of them. There's just so many great Disney movies. Because Lion King is like an all-time favorite just because you can't hate on Lion King. You can't hate on it.
No, it's one of my favorites. So.
It's definitely one of my favorites. And then, like, you want to know my most favorite underappreciated Disney movie? It's not necessarily underappreciated, but it's definitely one that not a lot of people talk about as much. Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove
that doesn't
so
come to your
good.
mind when you're thinking about
There's a lot of
good Disney
great
movies,
Disney movies that are super underappreciated, but I don't know that, like, the Emperor's New Groove, like, they had, like, a couple of spin-off type of things, and I understand that, but, like, when you're going back to, like, the original first Emperor's New Groove, the movie, I mean, I feel like it wasn't as appreciated as it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so funny. It is hilarious. But, I don't know. I just think that one's one that doesn't get enough love.
Hey, you're probably right. There's
feel
probably
like it
someone
doesn't
out there
get enough love.
there's someone out there who absolutely agrees with you.
Probably. I don't know, though.
Because that's not one that comes to my mind, so you're probably right. Just
So which
on
one
that.
comes to your mind?
As far as been underrated, oh gosh, I'm not as schooled on the Disney movies as far as, as far as knowing which one would be underrated is what I mean. I've watched a lot of Disney movies, but
Well,
as far as the
Song of
ones
the South, which
being
is actually a
underrated,
great one.
I'll tell you what, Sword of the Stone's probably a little bit underrated because we don't talk about
It
that a
is
whole lot either.
underrated.
I'm just trying to think of Disney movies that you don't hear about that is really good. I don't think about that a lot. So that means it's probably underrated.
You know, another one to me, and I know that this has been it's supposedly a huge argument about this particular movie and whether or not it's actually, I don't really know, but the Song of the South. That's actually a really, really good movie, and it's the one with like Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and it's actually also like the theme of one of my all-time favorite Disney rides, which is Splash Mountain. Like, Splash Mountain is the freaking best ride at Disney World. Maybe not when it's cold, but so like early in the mornings on the winter, don't do it. Not a great idea, but it's just a great ride in general at Splash Mountain. And then at the end of the ride, they're singing Zippity Doo Dah, and it just gets you in a good mood, and it's just fun.
You know what I will say is underrated? That just made me think, and you're right. And my wife loves this movie, and I just don't. I've seen it, and it is Mary Poppins.
You don't like Mary Poppins?
No, I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I don't think about it a lot when you're talking about great Disney movies because it don't come to your mind very quick.
Mary Poppins
and it is, so it's probably
so
underrated.
Amazing.
It's probably underrated. That's what I'm saying. I like it, but
I think I could see where you could think that it's
because think about it, you've not mentioned it yet. Right? You've not mentioned it yet.
But in the back of my mind, I think Mary Poppins is like a great movie. It's not my favorite old-timey movie, but it's probably my favorite live-action movie they've ever created.
Yeah. So the fact that we're just now getting to that tells me it's underrated.
That was actually one of my categories, but I just forgot about that category. However, because I was thinking, well, live action. Let me think. What other like live actions outside of like the new ones now? But yeah, no, Mary Poppins, whole all-time favorite. Like musical / live action / anything. Like, how can you hate on Mary Poppins?
A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Exactly. I mean, and then whenever they created Saving Mr. Banks a couple years ago, it just like heightened my love for Mary Poppins even more. Because like you get an understanding of who the author was and who all of like the songwriters were and how everything just kind of went down because she's a very pristine woman, like English woman.
Yeah.
You've seen Saving Mr. Banks, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I can't think. I'm not sure on that.
Emma Thompson.
I've heard of it. Yeah. I'm not sure. No. I maybe haven't yet.
Yeah,
but I know what you're talking about. I know the movie. I've heard of it.
It's just like it's a great movie that just makes you love Mary Poppins even more. Or at least for me, it made me love Mary Poppins even more. But I already just in general loved it. Like I mean, like it just makes you smile. Like it makes you a little bit upset every once in a while, but it's so off the wall that it just makes you smile and just believe in magic all over again in a way,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so. But obviously, whole lot of great Disney things. If you want to talk about Disney plays, though, that have actually made it into a movie form, which I don't know if you've seen any of those. They were like Broadway musicals. Some of them are still going right now. Well, not during this time period or with COVID, but that we're actually going. Probably my all-time favorite one would have to be the musical Newsies, which is actually a movie as well. It's a live-action movie before it was ever a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
But I actually like the Broadway musical version of it just a little bit better. And you want to know another one that's very underappreciated? Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
Hello, Dolly is such a cute movie, and there's even parts of Hello, Dolly in WALL-E that no one knew that's where that was from. And I'm like, how did you not know this? Like, okay, truly, those aren't Disney fans, but I mean, there are Disney fans, but like, these are not like the old-timey Disney fans, which I like the old-time movies better than I like any of the newer ones. But anyway, so Newsies, great musical. If you ever get the chance to watch it, highly recommend it because it's about like literally the Newsies of New York City back when who was it? Yes, Hoover was not president but governor of New York. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank to his first name, but Hoover.
Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover. Thank you. I think. Yeah. I believe so. Anyways, it was back back when, like, the Newsies, And it's just really fun. It's a really great musical. Highly recommend it. There's so many different Disney movies I could highly recommend to people, though, that have probably never even seen them or even heard of them.
Maybe we should start a separate podcast just for Disney talk.
I know, right?
Just Disney talk.
I know.
Just for that each week.
That would be so much fun.
I mean, we really should. I mean...
Well, I mean, like, I even know, like, just random Disney park facts. I know different, just random Disney facts in general. However, my sister actually knows more than me, but she worked there for 2 years, so...
I don't know if she knows more than you or not.
She might. I think she does.
I don't know how anybody could, to be honest.
However, I do know a lot more movies, probably, like, especially, like, the older movies. And that's not just because my sister didn't like them, but, like, she'd never heard of Hello, Dolly until I told her. And I was like, seriously?
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And I was like, how did you not, like, realize that? Like, I'd always known it, but I hadn't watched it until actually this past year. That was the first time I'd watched it whenever we finally got Disney Plus. And I saw it on there, and I was like, okay, Hello, Dolly. I finally want to watch it. So I finally watched it, and I was just so happy about it. Just so many different things. Like, I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, I remember that scene in WALL-E, you know, like... Granted, not trying to, like... Because WALL-E's actually kind of a little underappreciated, too. I think WALL-E needs a little bit more love in the Pixar world. But I think it's still good anyways. Yeah, but... Okay, I'll stop talking about Disney for a little bit.
Are you sure? Are you done?
I will stop because I could go on and on and on, and yeah.
I don't think our listeners
want me to go on and on and on.
Have you got out what you wanted to get out on?
I think I did.
Okay, let's move on to our great devotion then.
Okay. We shall move on to our devotion for today. Now, whenever I first saw the title for today's devotion, I actually was confused, but was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be a good thing for our listeners to really and truly listen to. And of course, I should never underestimate Pamela Krim because she has always amazing devotions that always just make me smile or always just make me feel better as a person and as a Christian in general, and just makes me want to be even better than what I already am. You know, like she always just wants to bring that out in everybody, and she makes me want to follow Christ even more than ever. So, but anyways, so today's devotional podcast. Or devotion. Wow, devotional podcast. Wow, that was kind of weird.
That's good. That sums it up, though.
Dang,
that
true.
Sums it up.
But today, the title is Be Like Jesus. So, how much of you have you held back, worried others may not accept you? How much have you settled because the real you may be too much? Or how little have you actually played because, or done anything? Like, how little have you just given up because little is easy to overlook and you would rather not be singled out? We like to, I know that I fall under this category every once in a while. Usually now I don't care quite as much, but even me and you have talked about this. We like to dress to impress. You know, have you ever just kind of like, you know what, I really badly want to look good today because I want people to like me. I want to follow into a certain group, so I'm going to dress similar to them, or I'm going to put on this other image of ourselves. Like, I'm going to be a completely different person on the outside to seek approval from others. But now we're in this state where, okay, we're finally accepted and approved of, quote unquote approved, and we're sitting there in this group or this whatever you're getting accepted into, and you're thinking to yourself, like, what is going on? Because you're internally having a constant battle or struggle with yourself that just makes you question yourself and who you truly are and who you actually want to be. Because you're getting told this other version of you is better versus the true version of you is better. And we obsess over the desire to be liked. I don't know about you guys, but I like to be a people pleaser. However, as I've gotten older and nowadays, I know my family would probably argue with me a little bit that I like to be a people pleaser, but I really don't like people being upset with me. I personally don't like it. I don't appreciate it because I never want to give anybody a reason to not like me. But at the same time, like, we're kind of people pleasers. We enjoy being liked. Well, I'm here to tell you, not everyone will like you. No, not. So, ma'am, sir, get over the idea of trying to be liked by everybody, because not everyone will like you. I'm sorry, but it's true. And we have to realize that, because there's so many new devils out there as like the years have changed, because now we have social media. Now we have all of these different ways to contact other people or have some sort of interaction with people who are halfway across the world, which is really phenomenal if you kind of think about it. But at the same time, it's really disheartening, because now, even though in your mind you're thinking, oh, this is more people that can like me, no, this is actually also more people that cannot like you as well. Which I hate saying, because I don't like negativity. I personally don't like negative comments. I think that's horrible, and why people treat other people that way, I will never know. None of us will ever know, because I don't see how people can treat people that way. I don't, but it is out there, and now we have to worry about these new devils in our lives out there. And there are so many negative comments and just hateful people out in the world that are constantly trying to put you down and make you question your own self-worth. The enemy is constantly picking at our flaws. The devil himself is constantly nitpicking and picking at all of our flaws and all of our wounds to make them bleed and to make them just hurt and make them take over our body. And how many, have you ever allowed him to just pick at your wounds? I know that I have fallen under that myself personally. I'm sure everyone has fallen under this, but I'm here to tell you, don't let him do that, because that is his job. It is his job. It is the devil's job to make you hurt. It is the devil's job to make your wounds worse and to make you question your own self-worth. You question if you're even good enough anymore when you truly are. But he keeps constantly going and going and picking and picking. And whenever he actually likes you, that means he got his way, and he has pushed you so much to where you keep hiding. You keep living in fear of other people, and you keep trying to seek others' approval when you don't need others' approval. You keep constantly living in fear, and that just means that the devil has won, and you do not want that. How much of your authentic and true self has been held back because of worry over what others will think? God created you, and you are a masterpiece. I will repeat that because it is so true. God created you, and you are a masterpiece. You are his work. No masterpiece should be ever sidelined or just replaced by this other version of yourself to take over your life. You do not need this other version. You need the one true version that God created you for. There's a reason he created you, and you have to keep that in mind. Don't let this obsession of just being liked and being approved of to get in your way of showing your true self to other people. If they don't like you, they don't like you. It is okay. I promise you, it is okay, because there are other people out there in the world that do like you. But why do we keep seeking? We constantly keep seeking for approval. I'm going to tell you this much because sometimes people forget about this, but Jesus was without flaw. He was perfection. Literally perfection was the only human being on earth, Son of God, that could never sin. He would not sin. He was perfect. He is a perfect image. And yet, he still had haters. He still had people out there in the world hating him. In John 15:18, Jesus said, if the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. Jesus never let the hate get to him. He kept going on his path and continued to teach and believe in the word that he was speaking. And just everything that he did, he constantly believed in. And there were so many devils and so many demons and so many sinners out there in the world trying to get at him. So many haters trying to get at him and put him down and do everything to throw him off the path. Well, you have to stay on a path. You have to follow the path you were given, because when you get off of the path, it's not going to be pretty just for yourself in general. Not saying necessarily with God, but it's not a fun thing. Nobody likes getting off of a path. We have to rise up with a focus on living this one life you were given to the fullest and max capacity and maximum impact for the good works you have been created for. We must rise up. Will you rise up with a focus on living this one life you were given to the fullest and with maximum impact for the good works you have been created for? Ephesians 2:10 says, we are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared for us in advance. Hold nothing back, because God has already given you the works. He has already, before he even created you, before you even knew you had this path to follow, he had already prepared us, and he had already prepared these good works in which we must do. So stick to the path, and you must focus on that, and just hold nothing back. Don't hold it back, because never hold back your true self. You are perfect just the way you are, and we are all in good works, good timing. We will continue to follow God and to follow Jesus Christ and do the works that they meant for us to do. If there was a negative comment in your life, then just delete it. So on social media, if you see somebody post a comment on something that's actually very negative towards you, you know what? God did create the delete button, or at least he created the person who created the delete button. So just delete it. And don't come back to it. And I know that's a lot easier said than done, because, once you erase it, you can't look back at it. So that's a good thing. But sometimes that can be still stuck in the back of your mind. So in order to get away from that negativity and get away from that negative comment that just keeps constantly nagging at you, you must replace it with a good and positive. Because these are priceless moments. And you should not derail your thoughts just to get approval. Do not derail who you truly are to get approval. Because Jesus never derailed his life because of the negatives. He wasn't trying to get approval from others. He wasn't focused on the negatives or the fear. He stayed focused on his mission and his path in which he followed, and we have to follow as well. Be like Jesus. Don't let the fear get in your way. Be like Jesus. Don't let the constant negativities bring you down. Be like Jesus. Stay focused on your path and on your mission. Be like Jesus. And in all honesty, I feel like this is something that a lot of us struggle with. And at first, when I first heard this title, Be Like Jesus, I didn't know exactly how this was going to go. But then by the end of it, it all makes 100% sense, because we all struggle with this in our day-to-day lives. I know I do. and I'm trying to get better about it as much as I possibly can, and I'm sure all of us are. But, I mean, there's still every once in a while, you know, it's a little hard, but we have to be like Jesus. In the sense of we must stay focused on our path and be true to ourselves, because we do not need other people's approval of what we do, of what we think, of what we say, or who we are as a true person. We do not need to seek that approval from others, because Jesus never did, and we do not need to either. We need to follow and be like him.
That's good.
Thank you.
Very good. In fact, that's probably the best advice. I mean, if you could just cherry pick and just point out any advice you could give, be like Jesus is probably the best advice you can give.
I know, right?
I mean, I can't think of any word that's better, because, I mean, that devotion hits all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anyone says it doesn't, at some point they're probably lying.
Yeah.
Because some more than others, but we've all kind of gave in to peer pressure. We've all kind of gave in to the crowd's thinking, to where, we kind of, stuff becomes more and more secular. So we've all kind of give in to that, to where, okay, well, they say what that guy says, or that girl says, or what the world says, and it kind of puts us down, and we allow it to get to us, and we really allow it to bring us down. I've fought it before. I think everybody's fought it before.
Yeah.
And it's not, but it's true though. It's not biblical to fight it like that. I know we're human, so we're going to have human traits, and it's easier said than done. But really, we should never have a low self-esteem.
We shouldn't.
Ever. And I know it's way easier said than done. I fight it, even now I fight it. But we really shouldn't, because God made us the way he wants us to be. And we all have certain characteristics and certain traits that we're going to be able to reach people that maybe someone else couldn't reach. And we're going to be able to do things maybe something someone else couldn't do. And our purpose is different from somebody else's.
Yes.
So we all have our unique gifts and talents that God gave us. So and God made our appearance. God made everything about us. So we need to be confident in those abilities, that God has us right where he wants us if we just surrender to him. So.
And in all honesty, like, I actually just thought about this now, because an example that I just thought about was my godmother. Yes, I do have a godmother, and two amazing god sisters and a wonderful godfather. And I have two sets of them, and the other ones I don't get to see very much. But this particular one, they're really a second family to me. I absolutely love them and adore them so much, and just so thankful for them. But anyways, one of my god sisters had gotten hurt, and she's a senior in high school, and got hurt in one of her basketball games here recently. Messed up her ankle pretty bad, and she just wanted to get back out on the court as soon as possible. And she was trying to put her brace back on, and a woman in their community who they're really good friends with. It's not just like a random person, because they're a small community, so they kind of know everybody. But
I grew up in a town like that. Yeah.
So she actually asked my god sister if she could pray for her before she went back into the gym to continue to try and play, and she did. She prayed for her, and my godmother actually got a picture of her praying over my god sister and saying how thankful she was for it, because even my godmother and like my whole god family, they fall under this as well. Like, sometimes because it's not approved of to pray in public, sometimes it's not approved of to speak your mind about Jesus and God, because people try to put you down constantly. And in all honesty, we should not be put down by this, and we should not be fearful of what other people are going to say or think. Instead, no, we should sit there and we should pray in front of people. We should sit there because this is what we believe in. This is who we are as a person, and we should not live in fear for that and break the status quo in a way. You know, if that kind of makes any sense.
No, it's excellent. And we need to be more bold to pray in public and to pray and to talk about Jesus in public. Absolutely. Yeah. That's something that can kind of break the barriers for a lot of people, because you know that may be the only time they hear about Jesus, or the only time they pray is right there.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not. We all can work on that. We all can. It's a process for all of us, but we need to be making we need to be making progress on it.
Yeah, and that was just like one example of like just something recently that has at least like had like a personal impact with me. I mean, it was my God family, so a little different, but you know, like it just kind of made me think of that in the sense of even my godmother was like, I greatly appreciate her for doing that because I want to be like that. I want to be able to be the way I truly am, because she is a true follower of Christ. Like she really is, and that's another reason I love going over there all the times, because we always just have so much fun in general. But like she shows definitely who she is as a real person. But sometimes when it comes to faith and praying in front of people and praying in public, sometimes it's a little like iffy, and like sometimes you never know if you can truly do it or not. Well, I'm here to tell you that you definitely 100% can. I know it is a process, and sometimes it takes a little bit for you to finally get comfortable with it, but at the same time, don't ever live in fear of not being comfortable with that, because you should be proud of who you are, because this is who you are as a person and as a Christian, and it's just who you need to be, because God created you for a reason. He gave you a higher purpose, and this could be your purpose right here, is to just do the little things in life that make you who you are and show that to the world.
Very good. That's very good. Probably your best yet. Your devotions get better every week, I think.
I know, right?
Yeah, they do. I love hearing them. I think everybody else does too. So, all right, this is fun today. Again, basketball tonight. JV's already tipped off. Tabor, we've got a 16-12 lead on the Falcons early on. And varsity tonight, 6 p.m. women, 8 p.m. men versus Tabor. We'll be bringing it to you on our portal.stretchinternet.com/friends. Hope you tune into that. And baseball tomorrow, 1 o'clock, doubleheader versus St. Mary. Volleyball on Saturday, 11:30 a.m., JV versus Kansas Wesleyan.
Tune into both.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
Yep. 1 o'clock p.m. versus Kansas Wesleyan. 3 o'clock JV versus Sterling. And then 4:30 today is capped out with Kansas Wesleyan varsity versus the Falcons. So I hope you tune in for all of it. And again, Sunday, busy week for us. But it's fun. We got our big game podcast coming at you. So look for that to drop and look for more information on who we're going to have on that as well Sunday. So we're looking for that. Hope you tune into all of it.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun here. All right, Morgan, it's your turn to pray.
I believe it is as well.
I remember praying last week, so go ahead and pray us out.
Here we go. I forgot how I wanted to start this. Okay, we're good now. I gained it back. Dear Lord, dear Father, thank you for everything that you do for us in our day-to-day lives. I ask that you continue to bless each and every single one of us every single day. And I thank you for all the blessings that you have put into my life and to Mr. Levi's life. And also thank you for bringing Forrest home to you as well. We greatly appreciate that. It was a very sad weekend, but at the same time, we know he's in a better place with you. And we thank you for letting him come home to you and for bringing him home. Anyways, though, I do ask and pray that you help anybody out there who is dealing with struggles or dealing with challenges, whether it is personal, whether it is internal, whether it's external, and just I ask that you put your hands on them and just constantly heal them or give them provision and help them to get back to the path that you are wanting them to follow, and just help each and every single one of us to grow in our faith and to grow in the path that we need to follow in order to come to you and to be with you, and help us not to keep constantly seeking approval of others, and help us to realize that it is okay and that we don't need to seek approval from anybody, because we only need your approval, and that is it. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Good job, Morgan. All right. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day and evening, and we will talk to you again on Sunday.